Can using an app help you with your NoFap journey? Because a lot of people seem to struggle with sticking to NoFap. A lot of people relapse more often than they'd like to. You cannot really seem to get your streak as high as you want it to be. And you are not quite at that point of where you want to be yet in your journey. Now, in this video, I'm going to tell you that there are apps to help you with this. One app in specific called ManDontFap. Now, yes guys, before I continue, I'm going to tell you guys that I make this video in a collaboration with this app. But I am very keen on maintaining my integrity on this channel. I intend to never recommend any product or service that I don't fully support. I'm only ever going to talk about things that I could have talked about just by myself without getting anything in return. So this is actually something that I think really works. This is actually something that I think can really help you with your NoFap journey. So I'm talking about an app called ManDontFap, and you can probably find it in the store as MDF streak-based wallpapers. Now, you might have actually seen this app before, because if you follow people on Instagram that do NoFap, they sometimes post these posts where they show their streak. They show this day counter, how many days they've been doing NoFap. If you've ever seen a post like that, you've probably seen the app ManDontFap. So what exactly is this app? Well, in essence, it is an app that allows you to count your streak of doing NoFap, and it has a bunch of extra functions. And now I know this is going to create a little bit of controversy, because there seem to be some people in the NoFap community who always like to say, well, counting days is actually not a good thing. You should not count your days, you should not follow your streak, you should not have a target you are aiming for, but you should just make it a lifestyle, right? Where your target is to just do it forever. And now, my take on this is that I think this is an interesting idea, right? I like the idea of having NoFap as a lifestyle and getting to the point where it comes so natural to you that you don't have to worry about relapsing and stuff. But you see, that's also a problem, because most people are not quite at that point where it comes so natural to them that it's a lifestyle and they don't really have to worry about relapsing. And I do think that if you are not at that point yet, which most people aren't, that there are certain factors that can really help you with your process. And some of the main factors are having a goal to work towards, tracking your progress, seeing yourself process to your goals, and having some sense of accountability, right? I think these factors are huge. They can really make a big difference. And that is actually exactly what this app offers you. So let's take a closer look at this app. One of the core functions is that it counts your days, right? It sets a goal of doing 90 days. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is just an arbitrary number, right? You don't necessarily have to aim for 90 days. You can just go for whatever days you want. But the most important thing is that you have a goal and that you see yourself progressing towards your goal. Because every time every day you open up that app and you see yourself progressing, this gives you a huge sense of satisfaction and motivation. I believe this is well proven in the scientific literature in psychology. Generally speaking, just whatever your goal is, if you see yourself progressing towards your goal, that gives us an insane amount of motivation, and that actually increases the chance that you stick to the goal. So I really think that just counting your days can help. Now, I think it also adds like a sense of accountability, because you are likely to come back to this app every day, and it's actually got this relapse button. And so if you relapse, you have to press the relapse button. I'm going to press the relapse button right now. I relapsed. Now, I'm supposed to give a reason here. Well, I relapsed because my girlfriend, she's been a succubus. And so then, the streak starts over again. And I think that really works because you have that sense of accountability. When you relapse, you know that you are going to have to press that button, and that's going to make you think twice. It even has a panic button, so if you get an urge, you are about to relapse, you can press the panic button, and it gives you an inspirational quote. It gives you like a motivating saying. Now, with this, I think it is not necessarily the quote itself that really matters, like the strength of the actual information of the quote, but I think the sheer fact that you get a quote and that it's making you think twice, that really holds the power. Because so often when we relapse, Like, it is mainly because we are operating from our subconscious habits, right? We get an urge, and when we associate that urge with relapsing, and so we kind of automatically subconsciously relapse. And just thinking twice about your goals, reflecting on what you are about to do can make a huge difference. And so these little things like pressing the panic button and having that relapse button that you are supposed to press when you do relapse, I think that can make a huge difference because it constantly reminds you of your goals, right? It's like an affirmation of your goals and the person you want to be. It affirms your identity. Now, it also offers you these wallpapers that you unlock. Now, I've only got one right now because I just pressed the relapse button, but you unlock these wallpapers. And I think the same principle applies here. It's not necessarily just what the wallpaper actually literally says, but it's the fact that if you put this as a wallpaper on your phone, every time you open up your phone, it affirms your goals and your identity. It constantly reminds you of the person you want to be. And when you really want to change your habits and when you really want to change your lifestyle, that works, right? The scientific literature is clear on that. The more that you affirm to yourself who you want to be, the more that you tell yourself that you are a certain someone, the more that you actually start to become that someone. Now, it also allows you to track other habits like working out, reading, meditating, and cold shower, and you can even add some more custom habits if you want to. And I think this is kind of cool. I think this works for the exact same reason as tracking your NoFap streak, because it gives you a goal, it gives you some accountability, you see yourself progressing. And I also think that these habits go very well together with NoFap, because most people who do NoFap, including myself, I'm not just interested in just doing NoFap, but we tend to be interested in just building a better life, right? Which really includes doing other habits as well. And the 4 habits that are displayed here automatically as the standard in the app actually happen to be habits that I all do. So whenever you do one of these things, you can just, click them and you can track your progress. Now, it also has an option to journal. And I'm not going to go too much into depth about the power of journaling, but with journaling as well, I think this is something that is well proven when it comes to trying to change yourself, right? Trying to improve yourself. Journaling is huge. It can make a huge difference. So I think that applies to NoFap as well. So it's cool that it has this feature. It also has the stats that you can track. Now, I do think this is a paid feature, so not everyone's going to use these statistics, but it allows you a little bit more insight into why you've relapsed. It allows you to see what the reasons were you relapsed, and so you can do some self-reflection and some thinking about that, and you can identify the bottlenecks in your life if you really want to do that. Another thing I quite like is that if you scroll down, it actually displays a bunch of articles and videos, and these are not just random ads, but these actually tend to be things that are quite relevant. At least I think they are relevant. They have to do with self-improvement and NoFap. Now, they aren't all literally about NoFap. Some of them are, but not all of them. But I do think that the other topics as well, like dopamine fasting, discipline, these are all topics that I am interested in. I think a lot of people who are interested in doing NoFap are probably going to be interested in these topics as well. So they are actually quite relevant. And then finally, there's also the option to do a battle. Now, this is just where you challenge another member, a friend or a random member. And then it tracks your streak, it compares your streak, and it also compares the other habits, like how often you work out and how often you read and stuff. And so that can add a little bit of healthy competition, I guess. Now, there will be a lot of people who don't really see the benefit of this, but if you want to get that extra motivation, that healthy sense of competition, this might really give you that extra little boost as well. So all in all, guys, I think I've covered most of the functions in this app. I think it can really help you out. I really think that, just having a goal, seeing yourself progressing towards your goal, and constantly having all these little reminders, every day that you open up the app, every time you press that panic button, every time it reaffirms your goals and your identity. And that tends to be, I think that is very effective at causing real long-term habit changes. So if you are someone that is, struggling with NoFap, you like to relapse less often, get your streak up, I'd say give it a try. It might really help you out. If you guys like this video, click the like button, leave a comment below. Be careful with what you say in the comments, because for some reason the YouTube autofilter has been removing like half of all the comments that people place on my channel. I don't really know why. Try to avoid certain dirty words, you know, try to find placeholders like dirty videos or something like that. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.